Hello everyone. This presentation is about basic understanding of Bowen reaction series. Bowen reaction series is very important from Ignis point of view. It helps us to understand how a magma can convert into a rock and what will be the order of crystallization of various minerals within a range of temperature. So let's get started. The first question which comes in mind, who was Bowen and what did he do? Well, Bowen was an experimental petrologist. In 1900s, he did some experimental studies at geophysical laboratories in Washington, D.C. Those studies were in order to understand the crystallization of common silicate minerals from basaltic magma. So, before I go to Bowen reaction series, I assume that you all know some terms like magma. What are different types of magma? And some of the terms which I'll be using frequently during this presentation. So I'll cover some of them. Like magma is molten rock material, which is a mixture of liquid crystal and dissolved gases. Types of magma, yeah, means depending upon the chemical composition, there are different types. One is basaltic, which contains silica percentage in between 45 to 55% and high content of iron, magnesium, and calcium elements, low in potassium and sodium. So, likewise, andesitic contains silica in a range of 55 to 65, which is higher than basaltic, and rhyolite contains 65 to 75% silica, which is higher than andesitic magma. So, we need to keep these terms in our mind that how silica percentage changes within magmas. So this is how Bowen reaction series looks like. This has two branches, famous two branches, continuous and discontinuous branch. So the right hand side, the continuous branch, why is it called continuous? Because the minerals along this branch have same basic structure like feldspar crystal structure, but along this line, because one mineral changes to another, and during this process the crystal structure also changes, the very new family of mineral will appear, but during this branch the crystal structure remains same, the only changes appear in the uh, element calcium and sodium. So before I tell you more about Bowen reaction series, let us understand what is plagioclase. So plagioclase is a solid solution series of feldspar minerals, which has total six minerals from ranging from albite to anorthite. So anorthite is calcium-rich plagioclase, which lies on the top of our continuous branch, and it is formed at high temperature. And gradually, it reaches to albite, which is rich in sodium and crystallizes at low temperature compared to anorthite. In between them, we can have a mixture of both of them depending upon the percentage of calcium and sodium uh, in that particular type of mineral. So this range may vary in between anorthite to albite, such as bitonite, which contains 70 to 90% of anorthite means calcium, then labradorite 50 to 70% of calcium, then so on, and in oligoclase we have 10 to 30% of anorthite means calcium, while it has 90 to 70% of sodium means we are changing from calcium to sodium rich minerals. So these are the minerals of discontinuous branch up to biotite, like olivine, which is a mineral of magnesium and iron, and which contains very less silica. Then silica percent increases in pyroxene compared to olivine. Then it further increases in amphibole, biotite, and it last go to quartz, which is free silica SiO2, which is like 100% SiO2. It doesn't contain any other element or oxide. So this was all about the minerals which we should know before understanding the Bowen reaction series. So as I have told you that olivine and pyroxene which are formed at high temperature, likewise there are some plagioclase minerals which are formed at high temperature which are rich in calcium, of course. So what happens with decrease in temperature? So let's suppose we have a magma of basaltic nature with the silica percentage 45 to 55% and how it crystallizes. So first olivine mineral will be formed, and likewise a calcium plagioclase will be formed. Along the discontinuous branch, what happens after some time or after dropping some temperature, the olivine mineral which was earlier formed will longer be compatible with the melt, and so it will start reacting. So it will start reacting with the melt, and a new mineral will be formed in form of pyroxene. So let's see what is pyroxene. This is a formula of one of the pyroxene minerals, and it contains silica higher than olivine, because gradually our melt becomes rich in silica, and so pyroxene then react with melt to form amphibole, and so on amphibole will form biotite by reacting with the melt. Along this branch, the calcium rich plagioclases are formed, and they will partially or completely react with the melt to form the intermediate plagioclase. At last, at low temperature, a sodium rich plagioclase, which is albite, will be formed. So this is the case when the crystallization is continuous, means the mineral phases which are formed are constantly in contact with the remaining melt. But what happens if these minerals are removed, or the early formed phases are removed from the melt? Means they are no longer in contact with the uh, melt, which is the remnant melt. So suppose if olivine is formed and it is removed, then our melt will be rich in silica. So the later phases like amphibole and or biotite will be formed. So we'll come down to andesitic type of magma, where the set of minerals will be amphibole, biotite, and intermediate plagioclase, and a few sodium rich plagioclase. Then further, if these formed minerals are removed, then the remnant melt will automatically become rich in silica, and the only elements left will be potassium and aluminum, of course. So those minerals which are rich in potassium and aluminum will be formed, like orthoclase and muscovite. And if our initial melt was so high in silica, then there are fair chances that we'll get a free form of silica in terms of quartz. So I hope you are able to understand that how we can switch from uh, basic to acidic magma by doing some of the modifications in between, like removing some of the early phases. But if we don't remove the early phases, or if the minerals are constantly in contact with melt, then they will form the minerals like olivine, pyroxene, calcium rich plagioclase, and no quartz. Because in case of uh, mafic magma, where the silica percentage is only 45 to 55%, so there are no chance that it can form a free quartz form. Or so we can say olivine and quartz are highly incompatible minerals, and we cannot see these two minerals all together. Okay, so I have written here more resistant and less resistant. More resistant means the minerals which are formed at low temperature, these are not vulnerable to weathering. So they will weather last, while the minerals which are high temperature minerals, they are not stable at surface, or they'll be easily decomposed, or they'll be easily breakable, and so these are less resistant. So this is the order of formation of minerals, and this is the order of uh, mineral which they can easily be weathered. So this was all about Bowen reaction series. I have mentioned some of the points related to continuous branch and discontinuous branch here, and so these are the references if you want to study it further, and I hope you understood the Bowen reaction series. Thank you so much.